The Maplestory censorship has been getting out of hand lately, and overall communication. In today's video, we're gonna go over the censorship if you are unaware, and then talk about how they can fix this issue and their overall communication so that the game can strive to be the best it can possibly be. Obviously, videos like this, I like to start off by saying this is not a dooming video. Jake and I genuinely want to see the game succeed. We want to see the game grow, and we want to see the game do better, which is why I think these videos are necessary to make. But there are a few things that I believe are hindering the process of this game growing, and one of those things is the censorship that has been recently happening in Maplestory. Now, what censorship am I even talking about? Because most people probably are unaware. So in general, when things aren't going right or there are issues that are arising, normally people like to voice their concerns, rightfully so. But in Maplestory recently, when things have been going bad, like extended server maintenances, rollbacks, in-game bugs, and overall bad communication, the Discord where most players flock to voice their concerns is getting silenced. It's getting put into slow mode, which one I completely understand. It can get a little bit hectic sometimes when the game goes down, people are in an uproar, something is bugged, something needs to be fixed, and it is getting spammed non-stop. But what is not okay is people getting timed out and banned from the Discord for simply voicing their concerns. Now, let me start off by saying I completely understand people getting timed out or banned if they are posting TOS things or they're posting things with malicious intent. I completely understand timing people out and moderating the Discord to make it an environment where everyone can voice their opinions and speak their mind. But what I don't think should be silenced, and what I think is 100% wrong, is silencing people for something you disagree with. When you start silencing and banning people for giving their opinion on the game, whether it be negative or something that you just don't agree with, I do not think it is right to ban or silence people for their opinions, or just for a post that you didn't find funny. At the end of the day, this is a Discord, and it's meant for people to chat, it's meant for people to talk, and it's meant for people to post things. You might not agree with everything, but that is what the Discord is there for. For instance, Jake and I were streaming the other day right after the new Maplestory memo had gotten released. This Maplestory memo went over how they were going to do better in the future, and then the GM event happened. Everyone was lagging, everyone was frozen, and it was a complete failure, so people went to the Discord to voice their concerns. Now, one thing that people do is post this angry pink bean gif. It is the mascot of Maplestory, and when things aren't going right, people are angry, so they post the angry pink bean. Not that big of a deal, but this angry pink bean resulted in multiple people getting banned. It resulted in people getting timed out, and things like that I just don't think are healthy or good for the Discord or the game. I think it actually makes people want to post it even more. When you try to censor people, especially in a time of frustration, it's going to make them do exactly what you're censoring them for even more. I think letting players be upset, letting players be frustrated is a good thing. It allows them to say what they need to say, and then it stops. Also, moving on to the next thing, the feedback section. The feedback section has been taken down multiple times. Once again, in times where people are frustrated, you need to leave these things up for people to voice their concerns. But censoring people in the moment, especially for things that are not adequate for being censored, is not a good solution, and once again, it's just going to piss people off even more. I don't know if the team inside of that Discord is working as a team, because it seems like some people are doing one thing, other people are moderating in a different way. It seems like it's all over the place, and I think the Discord team in the Maplestory Discord really needs to get together and put together an actual game plan on how they're going to go about monitoring and moderating joining that Discord. I think it could be used as such a great resource. Now, aside from the overall censorship inside of the Discord, let's talk about the overall communication that Maplestory has had and why it needs to be better. So first things first, they took away the roadmaps that we used to get. Now, what are these roadmaps? These roadmaps essentially tell the player base, this is when changes are happening, these are the dates they're going to happen, and this is what you have to look forward to. Every single other region in Maplestory, CMS, TMS, KMS, if I left out a region, let me know. They all have roadmaps. They all tell their player base when things are going to happen. Now, why is this a good thing, and why does it need to be brought back to this game? Players are constantly wondering when changes are happening, and since we are 6 months behind from KMS, at this point now, we are 8 months behind. I think this is the furthest behind we have ever been. Players start to get antsy, players start to ask for answers, and players want to know when changes and when updates are coming. And they're going to keep asking until they get a answer. Now, if we had roadmaps in GMS still, the player base asking about when things would happen would significantly drop. It gets very frustrating from a player base standpoint when there hasn't been a lot of content, and then you also don't know what's coming, and you also have zero communication on what updates are coming, or if updates are even coming, and how to prepare for them. Now, I know what people are gonna say. This is a video game. You don't deserve, nor is it your right to know when things are coming. But most MMOs, from what I've seen, have big content events where they go over and they talk about the updates that are to come in the future, and then they also lay out a 6-month roadmap so you know what is coming over the next 6 months. Now, when that 6-month period ends, yes, players are left in the dark. They don't know what is going on, but then there is the big event that is going to go over the next 6 months of content once again. Most games do this. We used to also do this as well, and it made the player base excited for the game. I think roadmaps are necessary for any MMO because it just keeps players hooked as well. It allows players to know this is coming, we have this to look forward to, I'm going to keep playing because we have this to work towards. It keeps players invested, and it gives players a sense of certainty. I really think roadmaps should be brought back to the game. I get that inkwell notes were supposed to be the filler for the roadmaps. Going back to the communication, the inkwell notes have not been very consistent, and they've kind of been all over the place in terms of timing. We don't really know when we're getting our next inkwell notes, regardless of the fact that roadmaps need to be brought back. I personally think it calms down the player base, and it just allows everyone to know what's coming and what there is to look forward to. Moving on from roadmaps, I think test servers need to be brought back to GMS. Test servers allow the player base to find bugs inside the game so that we don't have these 30-hour maintenances of extendos after extendo, and then there's a maintenance a day after the game comes back on. I think it would resolve so many issues up front. Now, I understand the reasoning behind potentially not wanting to have a test server in GMS, and that is because players are going to see something they don't like, and they're going to voice their concerns on content rather than game-breaking bugs or issues inside of the actual game. But regardless, having a test server would alleviate so many issues that GMS has been having recently with these buggy updates, the rollbacks, the extendo maintenances, and they could nip all of these issues earlier than later, and I think it would make the game overall better as well. And it allows the game to get free promotion and free hype by people playing the test server, and it's allowing people to see what the update has to offer. They used to have a test server, they no longer do, so them releasing a test server I think would be such a great change for the community and for the game overall. Once again, we make videos like this because we want to see the game grow, we want to see the game succeed, and we want the game to do better. I love Maplestory, I want to see it in the best place it can be, but I think censorship and lack of communication is genuinely hurting this game right now, and I would love to see some changes with that in the future. If anybody in the Discord team watches this video, I highly recommend getting together and putting together a plan on how you're going to go about moderating the Discord server from now on. I highly recommend letting people bitch, letting people complain. That's what the Discord is there for. It's an outlet, and allowing the feedback channel to stay the feedback channel, not censoring it when it's convenient for you or when it's not what you want to see. That being said, I hope this game continues to grow. I've said it a million times, and I hope this game learns from its mistakes. And hopefully in the future, we don't have to make videos like this. But that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.